Right. Okay. All right. So the session is being recorded right now. The first business of the cohort for Ruth Sholanke was incorporated on June 6th. Now, as part of what makes you an entrepreneur is what it means for you to be able to step out. And when I say step out, it means that you are confident. It means that you're passionate about what you believe that you have to offer. And I also had an opportunity of speaking with another mentee on the program, and I think that was on Monday. And I was sharing with her that the first thing that you have to do as an entrepreneur is you need to be able to solve a solution. Or you need to be able to solve a problem. You need to be able to provide solution. And if you're not providing a solution, you have defeated the purpose for which you want to start a business, if that makes sense. Now, in order for you to be able to move ahead, you will find out that whatever it is that you have to offer, if you are not getting anyone who is gonna buy from you, it's giving you another level of work that you need to do to get people convinced to buy your product. Now, I'm not saying that you have to sell what everyone is selling. At the same time, I'm trying to tell you that you do not have to reinvent the wheel. All you just have to do is, how do you carve a niche for yourself in the midst of every other person that is doing the same business? Now, there are some unique products that only you can do it. So for instance, talk about Marianne, who is into cosmetic products, and she is the one that is making this by herself. Now, it doesn't mean that there are no cosmetic products out there, but it's just saying that this is me, by me, for you. I am the one who is conceiving this idea. I am the one that knows what I've mixed together to be able to give you the product that I'm going to sell to you. That is a bespoke product. Now, if you already have a business that is providing a solution, that is more than 40% of what you need to do as an entrepreneur. And how do I mean by that? It means that the product you're selling, people need it. And if you are able to get a product that people need, all you just have to do after then is get your product to the people who need the product. Now, and I'm going to throw this out to you all. What solution do you think a can of Coke is solving or providing?
What is this solving?
What issue, what problem is a can of Coke solving?
People who are thirsty. They want something to drink.
People who are thirsty, okay? So that's what I'm looking out for. A can of Coke is solving thirst. Now, what that means is the can of Coke is solving a problem of thirst. Now, almost everybody, and I say everybody because everybody gets thirsty at some point. Now, everybody gets thirsty at some point. Now, what you use to quench your thirst now determines what you choose or what you decide. Now, but what we have been able to establish is a can of Coke is solving a thirst problem. And in determining what you want to sell as a business or what you want to sell as an individual, you have to think about it. What is the problem that I'm going to solve with this, my business? That is the first question that you need to ask yourself. Because you can have a fantastic business idea, you can have a fantastic product, but if it's not solving anyone's problem, how do you think I'll give you my money to cure a problem or to provide me a solution to a problem that I do not have? So In understanding the concept of entrepreneurship, this is where we want to start. I know that a few of us might have been involved in business in the past. Some of us are currently maybe running a business right now. But what I find intriguing is a lot of people started the business without understanding what it means to run a business. Don't get me wrong. I am also of the opinion that you cannot perfect what is not in existence. You just have to launch out. You just have to launch out. And when you do launch out, you have to be in a space where you begin to understand that I do not know everything. What are the things that I need to know in order for me to be able to move my business forward? And along the line, you will begin to learn new things. You will begin to get new ideas. You will begin to get new concepts. And you will begin to see things in a different way. But a lot of times, we want to perfect everything in our heads before we choose to launch out, which is almost impossible a lot of times. Yes, you may have the idea of the business you want to do. You may have an idea of how you want to sell it. You may have an idea of who is going to buy from you. But honestly, you don't know what lies ahead of you until you bring the product out. And that's why it's important for you to note that if you want to be an entrepreneur, whatever it is that you're providing, whether you're providing a service or whether you're selling a product, whatever it is that you do must do what? Must solve a problem. If it's not solving a problem, you have a higher chance of failure than a business that is providing a solution. And let's go through some of the slides. And I'm not going to talk too much today. In our usual manner, the roundtable is a way by which we share ideas, we share thoughts, and we begin to talk about how we can all help each other. Now, who are you as an entrepreneur, and what are the characteristics of a successful entrepreneur? One of the key things is, you see, you are the one that is undertaking the risk that is associated with creating, organizing, and owning the business, which means, you know what they call the alpha and the omega. You are the alpha and the omega of this business. You decide what product you want to sell. You decide where you want to sell it. You decide when you want to sell it. And everything revolves around you. You are the CEO, you are the secretary, you are the treasurer, you are the salesperson, you are the marketer, you are the driver, you are everything. And which means that you have to be everything for this business in order for it to grow. Because if you choose to get people who are going to be running all of these units for you, oh, you just want to be the CEO that brings the business, then you need to get someone that's going to market for you. You need to get a driver who's going to deliver your product if it's a product-based business. But as a startup business, if you don't want to kill the business before it even grows, you need to be everything for this business. You have to be the accountant. You have to be the treasurer. You have to be the CEO. And that is the only way you can get started. Because a lot of times, what keeps us from starting in the first instance is the things that we do not have control over. How can I manage this business? How am I going to be the CEO, at the same time be the person that's going to market this product, or at the same time that's going to provide these services? And this is where you need to look within yourself and begin to ask these questions. Do I have what it takes to run this business? Do I have what it takes to start this business? Now, a lot of times, we have what it takes to provide the service, but we do not have what it takes to run the business. And I could recall vividly that Miriam asked the question. Miriam knows a product, but she is this compassionate person who could give all her product to folks without collecting money, because that's what her passion is. She just loves to do what she loves to do. However, Miriam needs to make money from what she does. And I recall Akim saying, well, that's true. We have seen a lot of instances like that. What you just need to do is, do you think there's someone beside you who is able to be the face of the money-making machine, such that while Miriam is making the product, someone else is responsible for selling the product, which will bring the money.
Mhm.
And that is why, that is how I need you to begin to think right now, to see how can I come up with a kind of synergy that can help me grow my business if I do not have what it takes. Now, what you should not do is not start nothing. You can't afford to fold your hands and not start anything because you're not helping yourself. If you have a passion to start a business, start the business. Every other thing will fall in places. Now, entrepreneurs, what are the characteristics? Persistence. And we're going to share a lot of personal experiences, and you will begin to understand how it could be easy or how it could be difficult for you to be able to get clients or even be able to get a sale. Before I got my first gig, after I registered my business, I asked myself a lot of times if I was in the right business. And the reason is because people will ask me questions. I didn't know the answer at the time they were asking me, but what I'll do is I'll just say, let me go ahead and research into this, and I'll get back to you. I'll do a few research. Now, all I need is one single answer. I just want to tell this person, this is what you need to do. But as a consultant, you cannot afford to say something that can be debunked, which means if I tell you this is the way to go for this, I can't afford to give you the wrong answer because it's harming me or is hampering the success of my business. So in order for me to provide one single answer, I will research for more than 3 or 4 hours. And I will convince myself that this is the right answer I'm providing to this person. Now, this person hasn't given me a business yet. They only consulted me. And I found out that I was providing this support, I was providing these services to people, and I never got money for it. And I'm telling you, for almost 2 years, I was providing services to folks and I never got paid for it. But what kept me going? It was the passion that I had for what I wanted to do. I knew that this was the thing for me. But how do I monetize this passion of mine to give me what kind of desires I want? The starting point for me was just to provide these services to people to prove to them that I can do it. In actual fact, the very first gig that I ever got in my life, it was a $50 transaction. And all this person wants me to do is, can you please help me file my annual return with the Illinois Secretary of State? That was what it came with. And I didn't even know how to charge because honestly, this will only take me about 7 minutes to do. But that was my very first gig, $50 after about 2 years of calling myself a business. Everything I did prior to that was free of charge to people. And this is why I said persistence is one of the qualities or one of the characteristics that you need as an entrepreneur. Because you know why? the services that you are providing. And don't get me wrong, I said to you guys earlier that in order for you to succeed as a business, you need to make sure that your business is providing a solution. My business is already providing a solution. However, the business still wasn't coming. People want to be sure that you are in it for the long. People want to be sure that you truly even know what you're talking about. Rather, I have seen people come to me to inquire about a service just to get an idea of how much I'll charge, and then they go to another person to give a job. However, I didn't let all of this stop me from continuing to pursue my passion, to pursue my dream. And only the person who knows or believes in their business is able to follow through with this. Otherwise, you get discouraged. Otherwise, you get you're just tired because you're beginning to figure out, am I truly in the right business? Am I doing the right thing? Was I wrong to start this business? Now, this is me providing a service. What about someone who has a product? In order for you to say that you're selling this product, you should have produced some things. It has cost you money to produce those things, but nobody's buying. Will you, because of that, stop producing? Or will you, because of that, stop advertising? And that's why I said persistent is one quality or one characteristic of an entrepreneur. And someone like Jennifer will resonate with this. Jennifer has been in business for some time. She's in the business of moving. I can tell you that she didn't get her first business the first day she opened her doors. I can tell you for free that she had given coats to people who didn't come back for the deed. But she didn't stop, still continuing to do the business because it's something that she believes in. And that's the same way that I need you all to begin to think that, yes, even though your business is providing a solution, it doesn't mean that it's going to start from day one selling. However, after being persistent with the things that I did, I then began to get creative around how I provide my services. What did I do? The people that will come to me and say, how do you do this? Or how will you do this for me? I tell them, if you truly want to do this, I can do it for you. However, this is how much I will charge. But I will go ahead and do this job. Just sign an agreement with me. I will give you an invoice. Sign the invoice. I will do the job. If and when the job is completed satisfactorily, that is when you will pay me. People are quick to jump to those kind of ideas. You know why? Because if it doesn't come out well, they're not gonna pay you. So they haven't lost anything. Maybe they lost time because you had to take some time to do it. But that was how creative I got, because I realized that I have what it takes to do this job, but I wasn't getting the gigs. So I got creative and I was offering the services, pay me after. And that was how I was able to get my first $250 deal after about 2.5 years. After about 2.5 years of starting business. So imagine that in the first 2.5 years of my business, I was only able to make $300. $50 from the first person that tested me and said, do this for me. And $250 from the person that said, well, I'm willing to give you a chance, but I'm not gonna play with my money. Do the job. I'll pay you if it pans out. Now, do you think I will do it? I won't let it pan out? I gave everything that I needed to give just to make sure that they trust me, one, and then I get paid for it. And that was it, guys. That person now began to tell other people that I know this person who is able to do this. And then I still was doing it pro bono, pay me after, pay me after. Up until the time I realized that, okay, guys, now I want to start getting paid up front. Worst case scenario, maybe after I'll get the money after. I went into pay me 50%. Once I'm done, I will collect the balance. I did that for another year, and then I started my pay me upfront. If you truly need my service, if you believe I can do it, pay me upfront. Now, see how long it took me to be able to get to where I am. And I'm not even where I want to be. But see what it took for us to be able to get there. Persistence. I got creative, and I needed to be responsible to myself and to my business. And when I say responsibility, I am talking about responsible to me, responsible to my family, responsible to the IRS or the government. And the reason why I say so is this: I have been entrusted with the business. Nobody cares what I make or how I make my money. But what the government is or is particular about, I have a fiduciary responsibility to the government. And that's why I will not spend my money on things that are irrelevant to the business and claim them to be business transactions. Now, don't get me wrong. You can spend the business money however you want. You are the chief executive officer. However, you have to know that you need to be responsible for yourself and responsible to the business. You are in the business of making profit. How do you know whether you are making profit or not when you're spending everything that comes into the business upfront? Another thing is this: sometimes you need liquidity in order for you to be able to succeed at a business. Depending on the kind of business you want to do, you need to be able to have products that people can see. If you don't have the liquidity to be able to provide those products, what are you going to show your customers that you sell? And that's why it is important that you are responsible, and you are not going to take a job and not do it and expect to be paid. Now, you can fool me once, but you can't fool me twice. If I trust you with my money today and you did not do what needed to be done, you think I'll come tomorrow? I'm not going to come tomorrow. And guess what you're going to lose? You're probably going to lose every other person that is in my network because they are not going to do business with you again. Inquisitive. As an entrepreneur, you have to be restless to know. And when I say restless, you just have to put yourself in a spot where, what can I do? What are other people doing? How can I improve? What can I do differently? And you recall that I said that you do not have to necessarily reinvent the wheel. Trust me, McDonald's is not the first organization that is doing burger. No, they're not. Starbucks is not the first company that is doing coffee. But you know what? They came into the market, they turned it around, got creative, persistent, responsible to customers. They got inquisitive, and they were able to change the market of burger and coffee. So your inquisitiveness is what's going to ask you to, okay, how can I do mine differently than how others are doing theirs in order to be able to create a niche for myself? Because people pay more for creativity. People pay more for ingenuity. And the reason is because They look at it and say, okay, why should I drive 5 miles beyond the next McDonald's to go to Starbucks to buy coffee? McDonald's sells coffee. Have you seen an instance where someone will buy burger from McDonald's, get out of the queue, and go to the next Starbucks to buy their coffee?
Yep.
So why do you think people go all the way to do that? And that's the way you need to think about your business. I know a lot of us will do anything to go out of our way to get what we want. And what we want is based on what that person had done to their product that is bringing you over and over again. And that's why it's important for you that you need to be able to think of how you want to make your product attractive to your customers. You have to be goal-oriented. You have to be independent. You have to be self-confident. And this is very interesting. You have to be a risk taker. The day you register your business, you have taken a risk. The day you open a bank account, you took another risk. The day you open your Instagram account for your business, you took another risk. The day you tell someone about your business, you took another risk. The day you collected your first pay from a product, you took another risk. You know why? Because at every stage of the business, there is a risk inherent in it. What if the customer doesn't like your product? You have to refund the money. So that's why it's important that when you launch out as a business, you need to have all of this in you as an entrepreneur. All of this without an exception. What are the skills that you need to be a successful entrepreneur? Communication is very key in business. And there are so many ways by which you can communicate. You are able to communicate via email. You're able to communicate verbally, presentation, social media. All of these are ways by which you have to communicate your business, because you can't walk to everywhere. You can't possibly. And then you begin to ask yourself, how do you trust a business enough to buy something from them online? And I'll open this up for every one of us. Why would you put your credit card on a company's website to buy anything from them?
Trust.
Trust. Trust. It means you trust them. Anyone else?
Belief.
You believe in them.
You're believing that they're going to deliver the product.
Yes. You believe that they're going to deliver the product.
Convenience.
I'm sorry?
Excellent service.
Conveniency.
Conveniency, excellent service, fantastic. You all have said it. And the reason is this, you probably don't even know the CEO of this business. You probably don't even know the salesperson. You don't know, most likely, you don't know the person that owns this business, and you don't know anything beyond the fact that this is the product that I want to buy. But you all have mentioned all the things that made you go to this website and put your credit card there to buy something from them. How did you think they reached out to you? It was through communication. Either they have been able to get a way of sending text messages to you, or they have advertised their products in a way that you have seen it before, or they have sent you an email, or they have provided a flyer. Something caught your attention to them. Or it could even be based on word of mouth. Someone has used this product before and they decided to sell you too. Hey, I use this product. It's beautiful. You want to try it. And it could be anything. I love Oxford English shirts. And the reason is because Americans are not dress shirts people. But if you're looking for people who dress, go to the United Kingdom. And that's why the top brand shirts that you see for career people in this day and time, they are all based in the United Kingdom. And they're just about four. I can count it on the top of my head. T.M. Lewin, Hoyce and Curtis, Thomas Pink, Charles Wright. Those four brands are the four top dress shirts in the world today. I can put my credit card on any of these four companies without thinking about it. One, it's either they have delivered for me time and again, or I trust their product explicitly. And these are all the things that you have all said. So as an entrepreneur, so imagine that these businesses, they are large enough to have individuals managing each of the aspects. Someone is in charge of the selling, someone is in charge of communication, someone is in charge of delivery, but you are the only person that is doing this for your business. I pray that your business grows to that level, but as a startup, this is how you need to start. Communication is key for you as an entrepreneur. You have to know how to communicate. Your human relations skills is very key. You can have the best product in the world. If you have the worst attitude, you will not sell nothing. Because you are the face of the business. You are the face of the business. And if your human relations is poor, and it's the same thing with big businesses that you don't see their CEOs. Do you think that if the emails or the communications you get from them are derogatory, do you think you buy from them, no matter how fantastic the product is? No, you will not. So even though you don't know the CEO of those big businesses, their human relations, communication, and everything that you get in from them brings you to them. It's warm. It makes you know that, wow, these people really care about me. And that's what customers want from you. They want to know that you truly, truly care about them. And that's why your human relation skills is very important as an entrepreneur. Math skill. I know a lot of us failed out of mathematics in college or in high school. I hated mathematics. That I even know how to do accounting today, it's just by the grace of God. I stayed away from mathematics and I studied philosophy out of college just because of maths. Today, I can close my eyes and do any kind of math. And I knew this because I started a business on my own. And the reason why you need this math skill is this. On the top of your head, you need to be able to know what's profitable for you or not. How much does it cost you to create this product? How much can you sell it to be able to make a profit? Now, from the profit I'm making from this business, how sustainable is it? And these are the three things that you need to figure out when you're launching out and when you're starting a business. So I have someone who wants to start a business of souvenirs. They are going to help people source souvenirs from overseas. They're going to customize it on their behalf. They're going to ship it into the country and they're going to deliver it to them. Now, there are about 3 steps of things. You need to source for the product. After sourcing for the product, you need to consider how much it will cost to buy, how much it will cost to customize, how much it will cost to ship. And when it gets to the United States, how much will it cost you to deliver it to them if they are not delivering it to the customer directly? Now, these are all the things you need to factor in before you can tell someone a price. I know a lot of people, we are quick to say, how much is it? You need to think through the process before you give anyone a price for your product. Otherwise, you will give a product price and then you will find out that you're going to run at a loss eventually if not careful. We are in the business of making profit, period. If we wanted to run a charity, we will register our business as a not-for-profit. But we want to make business and we want to make profit. Every decision we make has a way of impacting our businesses. So that's why it's important for you that you need to understand the concept of profit. How much does it cost you to make this product? How much will it cost you to get it to the customer? Now, this is about product. Now let's talk about service provision. How do I know how much I'm going to charge for someone who wants me to help them create their account or help them create their financial statements? I think about it in hours. How long will it take me to finish this work? What work? They want me to create a book of account from January 2021 to December 2021. Okay. The first thing I ask them is this: can you give me the statement of your account from January to December? Because that's what I need. That's the raw material that I need to be able to create the book of account for the company. And I see all the transactions that I need to track from month 1 to month 12. And I figure that, okay, this will take me about 30 hours minimum. Okay, I have seen the work. I have been able to estimate how much time is going to cost me or that I'm going to take to be able to do it. Then, what is my rate to be able to do this job? I say $45 an hour. So I am saying, in order for me to do this job for you, it will cost me 30 hours multiplied by 45. That is an estimate. Then that's what I tell my customer. This is what is going to cost me to do this job for you. But hey, oh, that's a lot. Can you please help us? We're just a small startup business. How can you support us as well? Okay. I can do it at $30 an hour, but that's the best I can do. So $30 per hour, 30 hours of work. That's how I figured out how much I was going to charge them. And the same thing goes for you, whether you are selling a product or whether you are providing a service. Let's think about Lai, who was asking TK a few weeks ago about rental property. Mm-hmm. What sense will it make if I buy this property for this amount and my mortgage is $1,200 and then I'm giving it out for $1,200? How have I profited in that? It's not a business if my output is 1,002 and my input is 1,002. I've just broken even and I'm not making any profit from it. In order for Lai to know whether the unit is profitable for him, he needs to figure out how much is my monthly mortgage. My mortgage is $800. Is there any other associated cost that I need to bear? Oh, HOA is $100. You have to add that $100 to the $800, makes it $900. Is there any other charge? If there's no other charge, which means by the time I hit $900, I have broken even. Anything above $900 is what I consider my own profit. So what I need to do is I can choose to upsell. let me start with $1,300. I may not be able to get it to rent in the first month, maybe by the second month, maybe by the third month, if it doesn't rent, I bring it down to 1,200. But the only thing I need to make sure is that I am not renting this property out below $900. In actual fact, $900 is not even a good figure for me. 910, 920, 930, 950 is the minimum that I can take in order for me to make this business a profitable one. Otherwise, you are not running a profitable business, you are running a charity. So rather than call yourself an LLC, just go and change your name to an NFP, not for profit. So in order for you to run a successful business, you have to make sure that you know your math and be able to know when you are making a profit, when you are breaking even, or when you are making a loss. This is very critical. Problem solving and decision making skills. As an entrepreneur, you need to be able to think on your feet. And as I said, you are the alpha and the omega of this business. You are the one that is going to decide when to launch a product. You are the one that's going to decide what the price is. Your price today might not be your price tomorrow. Why? Because you feel that, okay, this price is outselling me. I'm not getting anyone to buy, but I need people to buy from me. If I need to reduce my price by $50, so be it. You are the alpha and the omega of the business. You have to be able to think that way. Problem solving. Don't forget that your business must be in a problem solving environment. It means that whatever product you're doing, whatever it is that you're doing, you are solving a problem. If you are not solving a problem, you are creating one for yourself. And that's why it's critical that you have to ensure that you are doing, you have this problem solving and decision making skills. Technical skills is key for you because the business that you do, you have to understand it. So imagine that Marianne is saying that, or let me even leave Marianne so that she doesn't think I'm picking on her. Let me go to Jennifer. Jennifer is in the business of moving. If Jennifer does not understand the business, how will she be able to make it happen? And Jennifer, if I'm not putting you on the spot,
no problem.
What technical area of your business do you think you need in order to be able to run it successfully?
Well, I most definitely need to outsource because I realized that it's like to do the part of the job that I do. Sometimes it can be a little stressful. So I most definitely need to outsource customer service. So I most definitely made an appointment for that to see if if there's companies out there, and most definitely found one. And so like the cost that I was planning to pay to train someone to do the customer service and to do the invoices is about the same amount that the company was going to charge me for a team of salespeople that's in the United States that can speak English well, because that was the very important thing. Because when people when you ask people their address, there's a lot of misunderstanding over the phone, not being able to hear people very well. So there's always, you always got to reconfirm the addresses, and you got to check the addresses to make sure that when you put it in the GPS that it's coming up right. So, but actually, as far as the moving company is concerned, it's my partner that knew the ins and outs of the moving company as far as the service.
Okay.
Because I've moved so much in my lifetime, I've had the passion to kind of understand and help people as far as try to make it stress-free as possible for them, because moving is very stressful.
It is.
So,
It is.
so that's what kind of keeps me going a little bit. But I would say my biggest skill is not moving, because I actually don't move anybody.
Mm.
Is my biggest skill is being able to take like a dream or a desire and turn it into a reality. And
Fantastic.
so it was my partner's desire. And so I was able to take what he wanted to do and make it into reality. So not only do we move people, uh, we help people declutter. I
Okay.
understand the importance of getting rid of stuff and not having anyone to get rid of it for you. So I have that passion to want to keep that going. So because it's most definitely it's an important need, you know.
Mm.
And so
So for fantastic point of view, and in actual fact, Jennifer touched a few things that I wanted to bring on later on, but I'm gonna touch on it right now. I have a client who is in the rental business, and if you have an idea of what it means or what it takes to have a rental company, you need tents, you need a lot of chairs, because the thing is this: you are not gonna be servicing just one customer. In one single weekend, one customer, like 5 customers, might need about 200 chairs. But this is a small business that started. Now they cannot afford 1,000 chairs at the same time, because they're trying to make sure that they have each and every of the things that they claim that they provide. So during my conversation with them, I was like, okay, have you thought about outsourcing? And trust me, when I come to you to rent chairs, I don't care how the chair came about. What do you think I care about?
that I have the product that I'm asking for.
Exactly. The only thing I care about is if I tell you I need 250 chairs, I get 250 chairs on that day. And this is what I told them. Never tell a customer that you don't have anything. Whenever they ask, tell them you do have it. And all you're going to do, look for someone that provides that service, outsource it to them, ensure that it's delivered, and pew, you have made your money. And you even have an opportunity, one, to sell slightly above the price that the other person is selling. You're going to make a chime on it. The customer is happy that they got their product, and the other business that you outsource to also got a business from it. And that's where the problem solving, decision making skills comes in, and the creativity here. Because the thing is this: even if it's 10 cents they made on each of those shares, that is 10 cents they would not have made if they told the customer that they do not have any more shares, because they only have about 300 shares. They have seen 2 customers who have booked the 300 shares, and then you are telling this customer that you do not have. Now, you say you have 1/10, but you cannot provide me with 250 chairs. Do you think I will take the 10 from you and go and take the chair from someone else? Of course not. So we sat down and we thought about it. This is creativity. This is problem solving. How we solve this problem, trust me, the customer does not care. And these are some of the things that you need to bring into your mind when you are beginning to start out, is that don't think you are in it alone. You are not. The moment you start, you will begin to see opportunities that are going to be coming from left, right, and center. Let me give you another typical example. I am in the food services business. I got a job that says I need to come and do a cookout on this Saturday. Because of the kind of reputation that I've built for myself, someone else needs my service this Saturday. What do you think is natural thing that I'll say? I have 2 gigs at the same time on the same day. What will I say? Anyone?
You're gonna say, okay, I'll be there.
So how do you want to manage it? 2 gigs, same day, same time, same period.
You outsource.
Preparation. Yeah.
Well, the first thing that I would do is let the customer ease their stress. So don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. Let me check into it for you, and I'll get back to you by this time. And so then I would see what I could do about outsourcing networking to get it done. And maybe I
Fantastic.
make as much money because I do have there's other moving companies that I work with that actually work with us, that we help them, that help us too.
Yep.
So,
So
yeah.
thank you all for that contribution. Olayinka said outsource. What you, Jennifer, are saying again is outsource, which is critical and which is the way to go. Now, there are 2 things. Yes, you will make your money from that business that you went to go for. Oh, good. You have made your money, but you have left some money on the table here. Because you know why? 2 things could happen. Either this person is trying to believe that you're too busy, and the next time they are thinking about a business, they look for someone that is not as busy as you are. That's 1. 2, it could be that they know that you are busy enough that they need to give you about 6 months notice so that at least you can keep the date for them. But this is one thing I want you to take away today. When you start out your business, you have to begin to now start out to build your own set of people. You need to build your network. You need to expand your network. You need to begin to think about people that thinks like you. You need to look for people that works like you. You need to look for people that are as passionate as you are. And trust me, a lot of people want the service and won't care about how much they're going to pay for it, as long as they know that they will get the service from you like they always got. So if I get a job, same day, 2 gigs, same time, same period, what do I tell my customer? Absolutely, we'll be glad to help. Now, don't say you'll be glad to help if you don't have your network set up already. You need your network. And your network will not start building until you launch out. If you then get someone who is going to be able to do the job, what are you doing? This job is me, Railbolt, or whatever it is, Isaac and Philip Consulting. I am the one that is getting this job. It is $500. And then I come to Marian. Hey, Marian, what's going on? How's business going? I have this gig, $500. I will take $100, but I want you to go and do this job for $400. Will you do it? Never, ever leave money on the table. That's the lesson that we're going to take out of here today. Never leave money on the table. You have to build your crop of network. And another thing that you need to begin to think about is this. If you get someone a job, what commission are you taking from it? It's business. This is not my brother, my sister. This is a business relationship. Now, how do you help yourselves? How do you build your network? You are into food services. You don't do decoration. However, at the time a customer is talking to you about a food or about food for an event that is coming up sometimes, the conversation might come around, I'll need a decorator too. I'll need a DJ. I will need this. This is how you build your network. Oh, I have a fantastic DJ, or I have a couple of DJs in my network. I could introduce 1 or 2 to you. If you like their music, I will get them for you at a very good price. Oh, sure, yes. All right, I'll go for this. And then you're talking to that person. Hey, DJ me, I got a gig for you. It's on this day from this time, and this is the amount. All I'm asking is 10% of whatever it is that you're gonna earn. If you take $300, I'll take $30. Now you can think that the $30 is nothing, but that is $30 that you could not make if you didn't do that. That is $30 that could have gone into something else. Worst case scenario, even if it's just the payment for you talking. Not to talk of gas that is $5 per gallon right now. That $30 can even pay for your own gas to go and get the gig for yourself. And that's why I said you need to be able to build your network of people. Never leave money on the table. Never introduce your customers to your vendors. If you are the one that is taking the gig, if you are the one that they know, you are the face of the business. Every other person works directly with you. Whoever it is that you are outsourcing the job to cannot afford to go there and start discussing prices. This is your gig. You are the one that will pay. All I'm asking you is go and do the job. Once you're done, I pay you. It's not your business to know how much I made from the business or from the gig. So now, see how you are using your own business to make money on multiple fronts. Do you think that if you have not launched out, all of these opportunities will come? No way. You can have all of these ideas in your head, but you can never perfect what is not in existence. For someone who wants to be in real estate business, how do I trust you enough to lend you more money to buy more properties if you have not even started one? Once you launch out one business and you run it successfully, you have something to show for it. Oh, have you done this before? Oh, yes, I am currently doing it. I have a property downtown Chicago and it's doing fantastic. I'm just trying to expand. And that is the only way you can succeed as a business. But even as a business or as an entrepreneur, if you don't launch out, the kind of opportunities you attract will not come until you launch out. People need to see that you are serious about what you say you want to do. People need to see that you are serious about what you want to do. Nobody, I tell people, there is no better advocate than yourself. You are your own greatest advocate. And you are the one that will sell you and sell your business. And it is very important that you see yourself as that person who is able to be the alpha and the omega of the business. Basic business skills you need. And this is about where we're going to stop today. I know that I've doled out a lot, but even though you have started a business before, even though you are about to launch out, even though you have started thinking about it, all of the things that we have talked about today are the things that you need. They are rudiment. It's like you're jumping to grade 4, leaving grade 1 unattended. You're still going to come back to it. If you don't do it, it's either you are learning as you go, or you make the mistakes and you still have to come back and learn the grade 1. So it's important. I know that a lot of us have questions. A lot of us want to launch out today. I'm not telling you not to register your business. I'm just saying, allow yourself some time to go through this as we go along with it. Sometimes you may realize that there's a space in between the first and the second session. It's not because we don't want to do anything. It's for you to be able to start beginning to think about, okay, based on all of the things that we have talked about today, I need to think about myself. What do I have? What do I not have? Unless you're lying to yourself, nobody has all of this, but everybody can have it. All you just need to know is, what do I have? What don't I have? Let me improve on the things that I have and I do not have so that I can match what I do not have already. So today, it's all about you as an entrepreneur. And how do you succeed as an individual, as an organization, and as a business? So I'll open it up for questions. And at this time, it could be any question that has been bothering you. It may be unrelated to what we have talked about today. It could be part of the things we talked about. It may be unrelated, but this is our roundtable session where each one of us can either chime in, oh, I agree with what you said, oh, no, I think I have a different opinion, or this is my own question, really unrelated to what we talked about today, and this is what I'm thinking. Open floor. It's roundtable. Let's go for it.
Well, if it's okay, I would like to edify you just a little bit.
Sure.
Well, I just want to say I appreciate what you're doing with the coaching and having the round table. Being an entrepreneur and being doing business for years, um, I want to say that I validate everything that you have said, and like you really motivate an entrepreneur like myself to really think honestly. Like the first round table that I had went to, you had mentioned what you have to think about. What do you want to be? Do you want to be a king or do you want to be rich? And just I can't wait to put to the figures together from all the things that I'm going to learn from the investment of taking your class.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Thank you. Truly, truly appreciate that. That's encouraging too. Thank you. Anyone else? Question, comment?
Hi, good evening. Oh, go ahead.
Good evening.
Good evening. I just you were talking about outsourcing and all that.
Yep.
I like for me, what happened to me recently was something I just like for me as in the I'm a contract staff of several agencies. I work generally with all, and I can I'm contract, so I can work with anybody. And then I realized that one of the agencies contacted me one day and wanted me to work with a woman who just came back from the hospital. She had a fall.
Okay.
So I went there, but I noticed that when they wanted me to go was with one other agency. They actually are the main agency of that facility. So
Okay.
they I also work with them time, anytime I feel like. And then I found out that it was in that same place. And then I went there. I worked with the woman for that day. It was wonderful. I really liked her. And then the daughter was so impressed with what I did and wanted to sign me on. But the other agency now said, no, they can't do that because I work with them. I said, I'm a contract staff. You can't tell me not to do that. But they actually resolved it among themselves. And I didn't take the case because they called me and they spoke with me. And then, I said, okay, no, I'll drop the case. Now, what I'm saying is outsourcing. So is it going to be a problem when you have it? Or do you think it will be better for you with the kind of people you're working with to also build your own network within your business? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I do,
Like you
and
have people
and
that
thank
work.
you for that. So if you if you recall that I mentioned something earlier that the people you are outsourcing business to, they don't have any business with your client. All they are doing, I tell you to go and do this job, you do it, you come back to me, I pay you. And that's the same way it is. That's exactly what happened with this organization, that the scenario you just painted. The agency has a contract either with this family or with another company who, or maybe it could be the Department of Age, or it could be any other department with Illinois. Now, they have this deal with them to make sure that anyone that is being supported with Medicaid, they are the ones that determine which agency supports them, because it's the Illinois Department of Human Services that pays. Now, when it comes to that, the Illinois Department of Human Services will not pay you for taking that job, because they will expect you to come and sign up with them in order for you to be able to get a gig out of them, or for you to be able to get a customer or maybe a client. Now, this company who you work for, even as much as they like you, as best as an employee or as a contractor that you are, you cannot take that job. You cannot. And that's the way I want you to look at outsourcing. It's not a problem if you manage it very well. Because the thing is, look at the typical scenario. I have a job for a customer who says, I need to create a financial statement for my company. Do you think that company or that customer cares who does the job? The customer knows that I've given this job to Isaac and Philip Consulting.
Yeah.
And by the time the job is ready, Isaac and Philip Consulting is the one that is bringing the job to me. But there's nothing stopping me from outsourcing the job to Olayinka Elizabeth, because I trust that Olayinka Elizabeth can do it. And all I am doing is I collected $700 from this client, and I'm talking to my Olayinka, how much will you take for you to do this job for me? I'll take $600. That is $200 profit for me, or maybe $100 profit for me from a job that I did not put a pencil in. You are the one that did the job. By the time you are done, I am presenting the job to the client and saying, your job is done. Now, don't get me wrong. There's something that you cannot afford to make a mistake on. You cannot outsource a job to a mediocre. The reason why I say so is this. Once that job is done, it is assumed that you are the one that did the job. And if his job is not up to standard, it is on you. And that's why when you are building your crop of consultants or your crop of people you're going to be outsourcing to, it has to be people you can trust and you can vouch for. So to answer your question, outsourcing is not wrong. You just have to get it right. What they showed you or what they did is a rule of thumb on outsourcing. You cannot compete with your employer, because technically I am the employer on that gig, and I cannot afford to go and be saying, oh, don't mind Isaac and Philip, I am the one that is doing the job, just give it to me. That is not morally right. And if it's a true customer who understands professionalism, they should not give you that job. Not that they can't, but they should not give you that job, because you are violating the laws of professionalism in that case. Does that answer the question?
No, because we're in a situation that's in that scenario.
Mhm.
I have contracts with the two agencies that are involved. This other agency who said no, they can't. The other agency cannot put me on the job. Is the one who outsourced the other one. Like, okay, this is A. A is the one who's got the job, and A does not have anybody to put on it. Now he went out to reach out to B and said, B, okay, I have this job. I need somebody from your side to come and do the job.
Go ahead.
And then B got me to do the job, and the people liked my job. And then A realized that I was the one there, and they said to B, no, you can't put her there because she belongs to me.
Yeah.
That's where the friction is. And B now said, because B is the one who's been outsourced, now said, you know what? This person now said, I was actually angry, and I told A and said, you shouldn't do that. I'm a contractor with you. I'm not really your permanent staff, and you can't do that, but it is what it is. I guess there's something that has to be done. So that what I'm saying is, okay, you have your own business.
Mhm.
Out of the people that work with you, can you build your own network amongst them? You can.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because that's the only way you can also succeed as a business. Don't forget you are a one-man show right now at the start. You can't do everything. So which means in the midst of all the network that you have to be able to build your own people. And another thing that you need to look into is this. When it comes to outsourcing, it has to be a win-win situation.
Okay.
And don't be in a hurry to give a price to any client. Take the brief, right? Because that's the only way your person you are outsourcing to will not feel cheated. And let me give you an example. When you have a gig, someone is telling you, I have this job that I want to do. You know that you cannot do this job, either because your hands are full or because this is not your expertise. But someone is offering you whether you can do it. Never say no. If you have a network of people who can do it, all you are telling this client is, all right, let me have the brief. What do you need? I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this. Okay, great. Give me about 24 to 48 hours, I'll get back to you. Now, go and meet the person that you outsource to. I have this gig. This is what my client needs. This is what they need. This is what they need. How much will you charge? By the time the person you are outsourcing the job to says, this is how much I'll charge, you will figure out whether it's reasonable or not. If it's a reasonable price that you're going to be able to put your own on top, then that's good. If it's not a reasonable price, you tell the person to bring it down a bit so that it will be a win-win situation for everyone. The client will get their job, I will make my chow, and you will also make your money, and everybody goes home happy.
Okay.
That way, nobody feels cheated. Or better still, you have a standing agreement with the person you outsource job to. What is our rate? Your rate is $25 an hour, period. And when you're coming to them, you're only coming to say, I have this job. How much do you think you will take to finish it? How many hours? I'll need 10 hours to finish this job, which means $25 in 10 hours. The rate is $250. Then I go back to my client. To do this job, it's $400. Once the contract is signed, you get your $250, I get my $150. You finish the job, you deliver it to me, I deliver it to my client. Everybody goes home happy.
Okay.
And there is no how you can outsource a job in any kind of thing that you do, any kind of business. Like Jennifer said, you can get a job for moving. You can outsource it to people who have more resources. All the client cares about is what? My things were moved, period. Ruth, go for it.
Okay, thank you so much. I wanted to just appreciate you for this roundtable, and thank you for bringing up that scenario of outsourcing, because I'm not an expertise in this, so I really understood. I really understood the example when you brought it up. So, and then you said trusted hands. Now, one of the things I know is that because I'm starting out afresh, I'm just building my network and having to test each of these network to know what they can do and what they can't do also takes time. And I wanted to say, how do you begin to, as in, okay, you said is building the network is very, and outsourcing it only to trusted hands. Now starting afresh, how do you begin to get, as in, okay, now information is key, I understand that. So what do you do when you haven't even tested out a vendor first? And then about this thing about not you know, this thing, when you say, oh, I'm giving you this job, then they go there, and then the person you've sent ahead begins to now take your customer and all that. How do you resolve issues like that?
So you cannot take out the human factor in things, and that's why I said you need trusted and good hands. And you will always allow yourself time to be able to build your trusted network. And I'm saying this carefully because you're going to deal with some people that are going to burn your hands, and don't let that discourage you from still continuing to do it. Now, don't limit yourself to a startup like you. Don't forget that you are bringing something up front. You are the one that owns the client. This other person doesn't, well, they may have their own clients too, but you are the alpha and the omega in this case. You are the one bringing the job. And don't ever think that you can only outsource to a new person or a small business. You can actually outsource to an established business. You can outsource to a business that already has the pedigree. So that way, you know that you are dealing with a business that is already existing, and all you are just going to make sure is that the pricing is win-win for everyone. And that's why I said, never be too in a hurry to call a price. Listen carefully, get their brief, tell them you will get back to them. Look for whoever you believe will be able to do the job correctly. And this is where your personal network of people who don't even do the kind of business you do is very key. Who do you know? Do you know somebody that does something? Oh, yes, I do. Talk to this person. They will help you get it done. That is the way to build network. And by the time you are establishing a relationship with that person, you are letting them know that, well, most of these things I do myself, but because my hands are full right now, that's why I'm bringing it to you. This is my client. If we work together, you will get a lot of gigs and we will both be happy. It's a mutually beneficial relationship if all the people trust each other. Now, don't forget that today you are the one bringing the job. They may be the ones bringing the job tomorrow. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's a symbiotic relationship. Don't limit yourself to any other startup like you. Look for, and the thing is this, even if it's $10 that you make out of that money or out of the gig, two things have happened to you. You have made $10 and you have also delivered to a client who will likely call you again tomorrow.
Okay.
For the job well done.
Okay.
So that's why it's important that you build your network. Let your network grow organically. Don't be in a hurry to build 30 people. No. If it's one person that you get, start building on that one person. That one person, trust me, has another person that they have dealt with in the past. And another thing that you need to learn about your business specifically is you have a lot of opportunity to make money without lifting a finger. Someone is talking to you about a child's birthday party. Definitely they will need a DJ. Definitely they will need someone that can help them decorate. Definitely they will need any business that you outsource to. I know you are a Christian, but trust me, make money out of it, no matter how little. No matter how little. And let it be the same way that if they give you a gig, give them something in appreciation of what you've done for you. Because when they know that they tend to be able to get something out of the gig, they will always think about you first when it comes. And this is part of being creative as an entrepreneur. Whether it's 10%, whether it's
Okay.
20%, it's called outsourcing fee.
Okay.
Right.
Thank
Any
you so
other
much.
question? Not a problem. Any other question from anyone? It's 7:57. I'm hoping we can wrap up by 8 o'clock. So,
Mhm.
all right. Okay, go ahead, Marianne.
I was just gonna ask you, if I can once again make an appointment with you,
Okay.
to answer the questions that I needed answered, regarding my business.
Absolutely. It depends on what day you're looking at. What day do you want?
When you're free.
We can do tomorrow between 2:30 and 5:30 p.m.
Oh, that's great. Is 2:30 okay?
Yeah, that's fine with me. 2:30 p.m.
Thank you.
All right. I'll send you a calendar invite that we can both of on our phones, and 2:30 p.m. tomorrow we'll talk about your concern.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, thank you. So Ruth, how excited are you about your business registration? Are you there? Don't go dark on us again. Is Ruth there?
Oh yes, I'm here. Sorry, I didn't. As in, I had the network was a bit out of place. I'm with you.
So we're asking, how excited are you about your business incorporation?
Oh yes. Oh yes. I'm really happy.
Very good.
I'm excited. When I showed my husband, we're like, wow, congratulations.
Yes,
Even my
yes.
sister wants to do hers too. So I'm coming back to you soon.
I hope you didn't tell her the price.
No, I know I didn't. No, I didn't.
Yeah, that's our first baby business in the summer cohort. Please,
Yes.
I encourage you all. No, we can't get out of this without stepping out to register our business. We all got to do this. We have what it takes. Let's just make sure that we get it done and move on with it. As I said, you cannot
Absolutely.
perfect what is not in existence. I want to thank you all for your time with us today. It's been a fantastic time. Our next session is gonna be from the calendar. I actually might change it slightly. I'm thinking that, so looking at the calendar right now, I think I'm gonna be, let me see. I think it's supposed to be a Saturday, but I think I'm gonna be out of state. So the next session is supposed to be 6/18, a Saturday at 10 a.m., right? So I'll just be arriving from Dallas that morning. Now, I also know that this is summer. Everyone wants to be out. If we could do it later in the evening of Saturday the 18th, if it's okay by you, or we can just move it to Tuesday so it'll be Tuesday the 20, let me see, Tuesday the 20th. What do you guys prefer? Tuesday the 20th or
Tuesday the 21st.
What Kate said was
Yeah,
the exact same.
oh, sorry, Tuesday the 21st, sorry.
Tuesday
Okay.
the 21st, yes. On the 18th, I know we have a concert or something that we're doing, so, the 21st would be much better.
Okay. Is that a consensus for us all?
It's okay with me.
21st is good for me.
Ruth, 21st, good for you? Network issue?
I'm here. I don't know what's going on today. So you said 21st, right?
Tuesday, 21st.
Okay. What time?
About this time, 6:30 to 8 o'clock.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine with fine. Let
All
me just
right.
move it.
Tokes, Lai, and BJ. I think Lai dropped off. Tokes and BJ,
Edit.
Tuesday good for you?
Tuesday, good for me.
Tuesday, what time?
6:30.
Okay.
All right, thank you, thank you. So I won't have to adjust this. I'll just send a note in the group that the next session is going to be 6:21 at 6:30 p.m. During that time, we're going to be talking about business incorporating and modeling. What kind of business options are available to you, and why do you need each one for whatever reason? And what are the advantages and disadvantages of each of these business models, just so that you have an idea of what kind of model business you need to start set up from the beginning. Now, it's also possible that you may have registered a kind of corporation right now, but you need to change it because it's not working for you tax-wise. We'll be able to discuss all of that during the session of 6:21. And of course, Marian and I will be together 2:30 p.m. on Friday tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes, sir.
Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to convert this video again, like I did for the first one, and I'll share with you. But of course, it's on our YouTube page, isaacandphilip.com or Isaac and Philip Consulting on YouTube if you want it. But I'll also send the link to you all just so that you can reference it anytime. Okay.
Great.
All right. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you,
thank you.
everyone.
Yeah.
Thank
Enjoy
you. We
the rest of
appreciate
the
Have a
it.
lovely
evening.
evening, everyone.
Take
You
care.
have a
Yes,
Thank
lovely
you.
have a good night.
All right. Take care. Bye.
night.